All right, guys, welcome back. The final series of the night is on the way here between Liquid TLO and duckdeok. This is going to be a good one. Explosions and fireworks, man. I mean, duckdeok, both of these players have so much to play for, in fact. That's right. This is just going to be an epic final game. They played against each other at the start of the evening, and now they must play against each other one final time in a best of 3 to decide who goes on to the round of 16. Is it going to be the European champion from last season, or is it going to be the German representative that did well in Season 1? He represented Europe at the Season 1 finals, fell short in Season 2, but is now back to claim the WCS points that he needs to go to BlizzCon at the end of the year. And again, guys, Belshire Vestige will be our map. Then I think we shall have Akalon and then Derelict as our last 2 maps to determine who is going to advance onto the round of 16. So important for both these players. The reigning champion goes up against one of the last foreign hopes here in this best of 3. So let's jump right on in to game number 1 as we have spawning up to the top left-hand corner as our blue Zerg. Representing Team Liquid and Germany, he is TLO. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, our red Protoss. Representing MVP in Korea, he is duckdeok. All right, guys, and a special shout-out once again to Roccat for sponsoring the WCS. Welcome on board to the awesome tournament series that is the WCS here in Europe. Thank you very much for supporting them. If you want to say thank you as well, you can, guys, can support them as well on facebook.com/Roccat. And you can go ahead and say hi. Maybe you could say Apollo says you're awesome and thank you. Yeah. They definitely say Apollo says. I might get a free mouse. Wait a minute. No, I want one. No. No, not me. No, I have to just hashtag behave. Say Apollo says, Apollo told me to come here. Hello, and thanks for supporting. If you want to make a comment on that announcement page. And thank you, of course, for supporting WCS Europe, because I very much would like a free mouse. Yeah. All right, so the game is starting to develop on now. Do you think an all-in can happen? From duckdeok, I think he probably does do one. Maybe on a 2 base or something like that. It would be cool. Yeah, I'm not sure because he played kind of normal earlier on, and I think he'll play normal again against TLO. Remember he was taking fast 3rd bases against TLO earlier. I don't know exactly what he's going to show, but I'm sure TLO is going to be on top of things here. He's already played against one Protoss just now that was trying to play tricky and trying to slip things in where things shouldn't go. That's true. And, well, we'll see if he can get away with that. It might be a little bit tricky, though. I think TLO's conscious enough to make sure he's going to be well defended. Well defended. Yeah. TLO will have the protection he needs to defend. He will. He certainly will. Always remember to say protection, guys. Anyway, we're TLO moving over here with the Overlords, having a look around. He's not really going to see too much out of the ordinary. duckdeok, I'm still kind of surprised that he's going for so much more the normal openers. We just didn't see that last season in the round of 32. Yeah, he took a completely different approach. Really caught everyone by surprise, but this time he's changed up a little bit. He's changed up a little bit here. He did kind of get destroyed by Happy, though. Kind of easily again, and doesn't show too much confidence in his PVT, especially playing it out later, but he showed that he's okay to play it later against Zerg. So we'll see what he can do now against TLO. As mentioned, this is so important for TLO to be able to get into the round of 16, play live, have the chance to play once again in front of the audience in the studios here, and have that chance to get top 8 where he has been once before, maybe get that slot, maybe a little bit higher, because remember he was 5th place in Season 1, had to play in the playoff games to get the last slot to join the top 4. Maybe it's different for him, because if he was to win this tournament and was to gain an extra 1,500 points from winning it, he actually goes top 10 very easily. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, if not higher, top 8 and higher. It would be a very, very good position for TLO. And again, as we've said a few times, a lot of foreign hopes rest on his shoulders right now because Naniwa is gone. Even Scarlet is taking a break in WCS America this season, so there's not too many opportunities left here for foreigners. I think another hope is Grubby. I think he's sitting Grubby's around not too far away 21st, I want to hazard a guess at. But still, it's gonna be 23rd. It was very close. Darn. Very, very close guess. Oh, wow. Nice memory. But yeah, I mean, whoa, the robotics facility's coming in. duckdeok. Previously, I'd just like to remind you when you played against TLO, is one gate into a third nexus. But now the robotics facility is coming in. I'm going to put my money... Wait a minute, where's my wallet?
Money.
Hold on. That's it. I've put that down. This is going to be an immortal all-in.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because, you know, TLO, he sees these gases and he sees them being mined away from, but this could quite easily be a fake. Very much so. Because duckdeok knows that the Overlord's going to be there. He doesn't set that up just saying, oh, I'm just going to mine gas, or anything like that. But of course, it could still just be for super high amounts of sentries as well.
And even though this is very demanding when it comes to micro, it is intensive to be able to make sure you land the force fields.
Yep.
If anybody has a very good memory, you'll remember back to the last game, duckdeok versus Demaga, to see who moves on to the round of 16 in the final match, just like we're now. But there's, of course, game number 1 now. But it was game number 3 on Newkirk. Immortal all-in. And his force fields worked, man. They were fine.
Oh, yeah.
They were fine. And if he's able to do that again, he will open up with a win against TLO. Remember that duckdeok's been sitting there, probably cross-legged on his chair, watching TLO play versus Sase. And of course, he played against him earlier. He's had a couple of times to be able to see how TLO likes to play, which is very Zergling heavy here.
He sees the Robo, but he doesn't seem to be incredibly stable. But it's still a big indicator. He didn't see these 2 gateways up to the north as well. And now 2 gateways are going to go down next to this Nexus. So TLO, all he's seen thus far is that Robo, but it might just be enough to give it fully away.
Does he know? I think he knows that something's coming.
Yeah.
He stopped drone production at 52. Perfect. Stop here from TLO. But is this attack going to be crisp? Is it going to be nailed down? Is the execution going to be there from duckdeok? Is he going to bring a champions-worthy execution with this push? He needs to nail the force fields. He needs to make sure that Warp Prism is picking up these Immortals, picking up any loose units, and maybe there's a chance. But TLO is very well aware of what's going on now. He's stopped drone production very low. He's got a lot of units coming in now, and he sees the sentry count. But does he continue to drone? He's droning back up again. He's at 53. He's going up higher and higher and higher. Well, I don't think he knows. I think he thinks it's going to be a third.
Yeah, he saw the probe at the third base, blocks it with the creep, but
and TLO's taking all the gases. He's going to go to the Spire, though. He will get to Mutalisk, which is okay against this, but with +1 attack, Guardian Shield and Stalkers underneath this, this is a little bit risky here for the German. He's got no vision on the right-hand side at all. He does not see this coming out.
Oh, these Zerglings are almost about to spot this as well. Oh, but they just barely do not see that, those Zerglings.
He must know. You wouldn't build 4 spines if you didn't know this is coming. So he knows this is coming, but he just doesn't know where from.
Well, the Zergling's going to try and go for a counterattack during all of this. See, it's completely walled off and realize fully now exactly what is up.
Getting that +1 is big.
Yeah, it's huge, actually denying that. Oh, but a good force field here by duckdeok, trying to hold on to that forge.
TLO's going to try and defend with spines and Mutalisks. He didn't kill the +1 attack. duckdeok's going to focus on the third, but the third is irrelevant now.
Yeah.
TLO's just going to mine as much money and as much gas he can get from it. He'll build 1,000 spine crawlers if he can. And he evacuates right at the perfect time here, even leaves them in gas. Look at that on his third base. Leaving them in gas because he wants more Mutalisks. Every little he can get is more Mutalisks here. It's perfect.
Yeah, he has 7 out right now. He's adding on an extra 4, and there's really not that much anti-air here. He does see the Mutalisks, though. These sentries know exactly what's going on in terms of the army composition, so... But that's a lot of firepower he has here. Actually, he has so many sentries, 12 in total.
Yeah, it's a lot of sentries, but they do tickle Mutalisks. But it's going to come down to how well TLO can engage into this. There's a lot of Stalkers, man. +1 attack. They're going to be under the umbrella of Guardian Shield as well.
Exactly. Warped in. He is supply blocked here, so this is all it's going to have for a while. Those Spine Crawlers doing a lot of damage, actually, here.
The Warp Prism's gone. Great pick off there by TLO.
Very nice. He can't reinforce at all at the front here, surrounding himself against all the Zerglings, so they're not doing that much damage. There's not that many Mutalisks left here, and duckdeok's going to power on forwards with these 3 Immortals still alive.
Yeah, and down TLO realizes he has to pull drones. He has to try to get him wrapped around with drones, but the Mutalisks aren't enough, maybe.
Still very good force fields, but that being said, there's really not that much anti-air left here for duckdeok, but he has killed off a lot of workers in the process as well here.
And TLO goes back to droning without taking too much losses, and he will pick off all these units before the reinforcements get there. The Warp Prism pick-off was absolutely crucial.
Oh, yeah.
There's no reinforcements, there's no Stalkers. If Stalkers were getting warped into that, it was a different story.
And now it is 40 workers to 44. Technically in favor of duckdeok, but dealing with Mutalisks from this position can be difficult itself. He's just going to warp in nothing but Stalkers, one would seem, here whilst he tries to push out.
Wow, this is looking really good for the German now. He's got momentum back in his favor. There's still a lot of Stalkers, 14 in total. There needs to be more Zerglings, but TLO can harass. He can bring these Stalkers back. He sees them walking in.
And
it's not over yet, though. It's not over yet for TLO.
It's certainly not. duckdeok is just going to try and push out into the middle. He could actually go over to that hatchery and kill it at the third base because it's very low, but it's being mined from. So important to deny that.
duckdeok is, he's got way too much.
Wow.
TLO's going to call GG. He doesn't have enough. The continued warp-ins coming in. There was way too many Stalkers. There was 14 with more getting warped in. That was 18 Stalkers to 7 or 8 Mutalisks. Yes, he held off the front attack, but not the reinforcements.
I've never been that big a fan of Mutalisks against that. But at the same time, TLO didn't have the full information he would want to. He had the Spire down and he was like, well, this was my tech choice. Kind of have to just go for it now with what I have.
Wow, I really thought that he was going to defend onto that, but he didn't have. He lost queens in that. He lost a lot of his income too. It wasn't mining. He didn't have continued link production. With continued link production coming in, I think he could have continued on well.
Yeah.
But duckdeok now 1 game away from moving on. TLO is in a disastrous position. Disastrous position. He loses this, he's out, and all the hopes have gone to BlizzCon. Everything that he's working for in this Season 3, he knew that this was going to be it. From yesterday, when Naniwa went out, he knew that he could be the one. He could be the one.
The one.
But no, if he loses this map, he's not the one.
Well, Acheron Wastes is now the map. So we are getting good to go here, as this could be the final game of the night. It quite easily could be. duckdeok, I foresee just some more aggression coming along here, although it's Acheron Wastes, so you could quite easily play out third base.
I don't know what duckdeok's going to do here, man. He may do something absolutely insane to pick up a quick 2-0 to surprise TLO. TLO needs to be very focused here. And if he was in the studio, I'm pretty sure he'd be doing his breathing techniques right now to just focus inside. But duckdeok is the player that he's going up against. And it was always going to be a difficult feat. He's the European champion. And now duckdeok in 2013 has made a big name for himself.
He has.
The ID duckdeok.
He has.
Could have been Finale, but it was duckdeok. That little special change. He's made a big name for himself, and he's continuing to do well. Can he move on to the round of 16 to repeat and maybe savior his own title? He's wearing the belt. He doesn't want to give it away.
He does not. Actually, you know, I kind of think that changing the name to duckdeok from Finale now, it's added a little bit more personality with his win. But I always thought it was a silly change at the beginning. Kind of is still silly. But anyway, let's jump into game number 2 here, guys, as we have the next map on the way, and spawning up to the top left-hand corner here as our blue Zerg, representing Liquid and Germany. He is TLO. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have our red Protoss, representing MVP in Korea. He is duckdeok.
And a shout-out to all you guys at home as well for tweeting to Roccat.
Oh, yeah.
Which is at Roccat, ROCCAT. Telling them that they're doing a good job and including my Twitter in them so they know that I told you to do it. Now they're going to like me.
I only get hashtag behave and that's it.
You can keep your hashtag behave.
Yeah.
And let's just make sure that Roccat know that they're doing an awesome job supporting the esports scene, as you can see.
It's very cool.
Thank you guys for doing that Twitter, and also if you'd like the Facebook page as well. So, you know, personal thank you there.
And you can win stuff as well. You can win stuff. You go and like the Facebook page, you comment on the announcement post, and you can win things, which is pretty cool. Mouse pads, mice, even keyboard.
I know it's a weird thing, and maybe I probably shouldn't even say this, but I'm honest. Some people call me based.
Go.
But what I want to say is that whenever I see someone supporting esports, I don't think about the prizes I could win, even though that's a lot of the momentum and motivation that people do go to like it. For me personally, I just like it to say like thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a like. I like probably know I'm not going to win anything. If I do, it's nice. That's the way that I look at it anyway.
It's like any company that I see is investing into something like this, like the drink sponsors, for example. That well, like Red Bull, Monster. We even see Dr. Pepper at Gamescom and stuff like that. You know, I
do you know who I want to get sponsored by? And I've tweeted at them before.
Is it Evian?
No, it's Volvo.
Oh, damn it!
Oh, Volvic, sorry. Volvo. Not Volvo. Don't want to get sponsored by a car. I don't need a Volvo.
I don't know. You should tweet at them.
I don't need a Volvo, but I would really like to be sponsored by Volvic.
Volvic.
Yeah, really.
Evian's okay too. Evian. Yeah, I was close.
Yeah, Evian's okay too. Because I drink a lot of water. I think it's really healthy, and I think you guys at home should drink water too.
Yep. It's very important. Very important. But now, here in this game. This is also important, guys. Very important for both of these players. TLO, what is he going to do against duckdeok? Do you think he can bring it back here into a 1-1 situation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I believe he can.
Okay.
I believe he can. I think he was a little bit surprised initially by that. His decision maybe to go for the Mutalist, as you say, is sometimes risky to pull off. I'm not a big fan of doing it myself. He decided that he could try, but it didn't work at the end there. So we'll see how things are going to really unravel coming into this next game, because I don't think he'll attempt that. I think he'll attempt, let's say, the Targa approach from yesterday, which is a lot more heavy on the units style. TLO likes to get borrowed banelings works well against this style because it's 3 Immortals and a Warp Prism. It's not an Observer. So there's a couple of different techniques that he could use if we were to see the same again, but we have a different opening, as you can see on screen.
Yeah, he was waiting around there for that extra
and just remember back what happened earlier on. Exactly.
It was very, very strong. We did see this. It was duckdeok against TLO, right? Oh, no. Who was it against?
It was duckdeok against TLO.
Was it? He took that map with this?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, it is the same situation. I don't know why my mind blanked there for a second, but the Stalker is going to deny an Overlord.
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same.
Yeah. And the Zerglings have seen the 4th gateway as well.
TLO loses the Overlord on the right-hand side. He's supply blocked.
Yeah.
He's supply blocked right now. He's starting to spine curl. He's in trouble. This is TLO's tournament life. He's in trouble. The pylon's down. The gateways are ready to go. They're turning into warp gates as I speak. Additional lings are coming in. But we will run into the same scenario that we saw minutes ago. The Bailey Nest comes down, but it's miles and miles and miles and miles away from being ready.
And this creep tumor placement here, TLO in the previous game actually had a second creep tumor placement, so he could connect these a little bit quicker, but they're not being connected as quickly here. The Time Warp trying to search away at that Queen, and the Queen's going to start barraging the Mothership Core as well. He really wants to keep that alive. It's a very, very annoying dynamic to deal with if he doesn't actually kill it off with those Queens.
Well, no investment into a Roach Warren, which is the different this time. It's 150 minerals that he's thrown into a lot of Zerglings here. The Bailey Nest is doing a good job because it needs to actually come into this game. It will do a good job when it comes out, but it's a lot of losses. TLO's sustaining.
He's only lost 1 unit so far. He's only lost 1 Zealot against 22 Zerglings that have actually died off here, along with other units.
Is he going to morph Banelings or what? He's running out of time. TLO could lose right here.
He certainly could.
Work, everything, all the pressure. duckdeok could move on. duckdeok may keep that title around his belt.
He's going to get this hatchery as well. There's still no Banelings morphing in. He has so much gas, but he needs just even a sprinkling of Banelings will help out a lot.
She's trying to kill the pylon off. Okay, reinforcements are gone. Probe is gone as well. Banelings, if they can connect, maybe. But right now, duckdeok's the one that's doing it.
Oh, he's denying the Banelings from morphing in as well here on these Zealots. That one Baneling needs to morph in and be a hero, but it's not going to be. Oh! Well,
I mean, what really did he achieve with that one Baneling? Right now, TLO's out of Queens. He's in trouble. He's lost a hatchery. He's going to lose another one. He goes down to 1 hatchery versus a Protoss player who can very easily Chrono Boost probes out. TLO is in a very, very deep amount of trouble. Oh my gosh.
Trying to transfuse to keep this alive, but he can't in the end. He has 4 Zerglings out right now. These 3 Banelings, again, need mirror
connections.
Detonate
on 2 Zealots and don't do anything, really. Kill 2 Zealots.
2 more Banelings. They get really good connections, but there you go. GG, ladies and gentlemen. duckdeok, the reigning champion, advances on really, really quickly.
TLO was the hope, because he's not that far out the top 16. He didn't need to do amazing to get a lot of points. He needed to just get top 8. He's got a lot of points there. Go to the season finals, gets a lot of points. Didn't need to win anything. But now, the checklist of the WCS point system is like gone, Naniwa gone, Scarlet gone, TLO gone. Next in the line is Grubby. And he's further down. And then there's like Lucifron below that. But they actually have to smash the crap out of the WCS Premier League if they got to hope to get top 16. But if we focus on duckdeok, the reigning champion doesn't die out in the round of 32. He's able to live and fight on, and we'll make it back to Cologne. We'll play live here once again. We'll play in front of you guys that come to the audience, come to the crowd, and of course, we'll play for you at home as well.
And, I mean, again, after his performance in Season 2, he's a charming chap. His charisma throughout his motion, really did kind of grab at the heartstrings of a lot of people. Even me, at the very end of Season 2, I was like, that is what I want to see from some of these Korean players. Because duckdeok, it really means a lot to him.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of you wanted TLO to go through, but it is duckdeok that makes it through to the second place in this group, making it through to the round of 16, and a Protoss player, more importantly, because if it wasn't for duckdeok, we would have had 0 Protoss players so far in 2 days of action. And just while I've got your attention, there's a 3rd day of WCS tomorrow. There is. This is kind of important to know, because usually we're like, all right, see you next week, but there's a 3rd day. We will be going over to Group C.
We shall indeed. It's going to be a good one. I'm really, really looking forward to it, actually. We have Vortex, MVP, Showtime, and No Name.
Yeah.
So a very cool list of players. Showtime and No Name, 2 players that people haven't heard too much about. And I'm sure we can tell you all about them when we get there.
That's right. We'll speak about them tomorrow. But it's looking at the group. Vortex and MVP are the favorites, of course. They've been in... they've been in the round of 16 before. They've won the entire tournament. If we look at MVP, as a previous champion of the WCS Europe Premier League, but there are 2 no-names which could, if trends continue here at the WCS, cause upsets. As we've seen Naniwa lose, we saw a lot of upsets in Season 2. Anything is possible here.
So we've determined 4 players already advancing onto the round of 6 here in WCS Europe Season 3. However, in a few hours' time, in 3 hours' time, there is WCS America Challenger League, and it's an interesting group. It's 4 Terrans, all Koreans. Let me look at the list. We have Apocalypse, Select, Hack, and Center. Some could argue that Select's an American, but that's by the by. And also, guys, don't forget to support Roccat once again at Roccat on Twitter, and go over to facebook.com/Roccat for your chance to win some awesome goodies just by liking the page and commenting on the announcement post that they made.
That's right. So in the round of 32, Group A and Group B, 4GG and Target make it through Group A, and Group B, we of course had Happy and duckdeok making their way through. And that's us done for today, but we'll be back for Group C tomorrow.
Yep, so that's it for us, guys. We shall see you later.